Hello. I'm really bad right now. I made my instant noodles and it is still here, so I'm gonna eat my noodles and we're just gonna enjoy the opening of it a few times until we get an idea of what this game is about. Hope everybody's having a good time. I think it's. Sorry, I'm eating now. I wish I planned today. Instant noodle at the cafe, yeah. Don't you know that's a specialty when you go to these cafes? This is exactly the type of food you eat. But no, really, I'm actually kind of excited to play this game. I'm like a casual Atsume game player. I don't really play it that often, but I really like Seiyu, so it's like, really this should be the thing that I like, but sometimes the writing gets to me a bit too much, but yeah. But this has like so many good like voice actors in it. I was like, I gotta give it a go. When I said the girl doesn't look too annoying, I know, like I saw some of the CGs and they seem to be very yeah, very cute, like you're just doing stuff, enjoying your life. Anyway, so this is gonna be an RTA for me to finish these noodles. And I will try my best to read out as much of the text, so this can be as complete of a playthrough. I have no idea what I'm coming into, so it'll be as new for me. I'm sorry, I'm gonna finish these noodles first. I'm very close. No, I'm not close at all, actually. Anyway, so how's everyone's day today? How's everyone's Sunday? Or Saturday, depending on what time zone you're in. I tried to do my laundry a bit early on, which is why I wasn't planning to do my laundry, to be honest, but well, I already did my laundry yesterday, but it was really windy, so I got to throw in some extra laundry. Sort of like the stuff I was like, oh, I'll wait till next week, but it was actually just like those mukbang streams, except you don't actually see or hear any of the food. Well, you can probably hear me like trying to chew. Could probably up the music a bit more. It's a bit less dramatic than the RPGs where everything is just like blowing up in 5 seconds. I almost knocked over my coffee. After this song, I'll start. I was just worried about getting really hungry. The salted egg flavor. So, I actually don't know if I recommend it, to be honest, because it's okay. Like, it's just okay. And I like, you know, the salted egg fish snacks and stuff. So, like, I think for me, like, the reason why I don't fully recommend a salted egg snack flavor is because, like, if you eat, like, salted egg things in restaurants, right? Like, salted egg prawns or salted egg calamari, like, that tastes so good. And I feel like instant noodles, like, they don't have that much punch. Or, like, doesn't taste as much like that. It tastes more like a sort of a almost like a mee goreng vibe. A spicy mee goreng with salted egg. But I did try the mee goreng salted egg flavor, and I'm gonna be honest, it was not a vibe. Anyway, just gonna quickly one more mouthful and then we'll go. Okay. Let's see, we've got the skip mode. All, because I don't really like it when you can't, like, skip through really slow dialogue. Text display. Release auto mode. Text speed. Fast. On everything fast. You can display my face! My heron's face. Oof. You can even, like, you can even adjust the voice of people. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Ignis is in this game. Alright. Yes. Yeah! The coffee is important. Not sure how it tastes with it as well. Anyway, let's start. So I get to pick my characters. Name? I don't know. Should I? No. I'm pretty boring. I never change character names. Here we go. Let's go. Oh yeah, I had to change the chat box because it's not showing with the CSS that I set it up with. Most of these memories sunk into the depths of my mind as I entered adulthood. Yes! I think the writing is like very hard to access sometimes. There are good writers. There's some that I've read like and felt like this is really engaging. But like there's so much you can read as well that is also fun to read. So that's why they bring in the sei to make you buy it. The warm inviting light of the chandeliers glimmering upon the rows of glasses. Yes, my memories of that place are precious to me. But there's a memory of something much greater etched into my heart. It's the sound of my grandfather laughing together with the guests he served. Because you like coffee? I love how they do like the whole like innocence. Yeah, script and narration is a very and also the way you play it is very because I like to think in a way Persona is really much a visual novel game just with the amount of options you have.
So, 信じられねえくらい遠くからわざわざこの店に来てくれる客もいる。儲けなんざ考えもしなかった。じじいの道楽で始めた店だけどな。そんな誰かの居場所になっちまった以上、そうそうは閉められねえんだ。
Yeah, definitely the sei because Umehara Yuichiro was really popular at one point, right? So I just constantly saw news about him and this game came out. And I think at the time I was actually looking for an Atsume game to play. And I, like everyone else, struggled to find one that I really wanted to play because
まだわかんねえよな。
The popular ones are like Collar X Malice, and there's also like Diabolic Lovers, which is kind of weird. But I was just looking for like something that would probably be a bit fun to play, but also just really simple. And I like the premise of just being someone who is running a cafe, and you might potentially meet some people who are interested in you. Let's go. Let's open this cafe. Phew, I feel like I've been lost for so long, but I finally made it. I take my gaze away from the map in my hands and look across the familiar landscape. Café Enchanté, a name I hadn't heard in a while. It's been maybe 15 years now? Hearing myself say those words out loud makes me realize how long it's been. Even if the world around it has changed, as all of the years have passed by, it looks exactly how I always remembered it. I felt so happy at that fact for some reason, so much that it makes me smile. 15 years? Yep, I did a good job getting here if I do say so myself. Although I was completely reliant on this map app. I put my phone away and exchanged it for the piece of paper and key in my bag. What brought me here is a letter from my beloved grandfather. And the key to this cafe. I'm back, Grandpa. I'll be in your care now. I quietly greet the small, simple key. And carefully, I open the door to this familiar place. Oh, wow. The space that appeared before me was the one within the fog of my mind. The faded scenes tucked in my memories regained their color and their strength. I take a few steps forward, noticing a layer of dust draped all over. It had all been left alone for so long. Still, a dim fragrance of coffee lingers in the air about the room. I find comfort in that. No doubt about it. This is definitely Grandpa's shop. The wooden furnishings from back then radiate the comforting feeling of nature. My fingers glide upon the tables and chairs neatly and evenly laid out about the space, and that sense of familiarity fills me again. The cups, polished to shine, and the colorful saucers that match them. And the hand-operated coffee mill and siphons lined up behind the corner. Oh, you can you can look at what a coffee mill is. That's kind of cute. They stand there, still holding their shine. They were always cared for so very well. Now that I'm here, I should take a look around the whole shop. Oh, this is where Grandpa yelled at me, huh? It was the pillar I tried to climb as a kid. The stairs that were difficult to walk upon with its tall steps. The hallway floor where I struggled to clean the drawings I made upon it. Looking around conjures up all sorts of old memories. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I got yelled at a whole lot. The next thing I looked at was a storehouse that held a bunch of things. It didn't seem dirty to me. There would be a lot of physical work to clean all of it up. Right? I guess all was left alone after he passed. I'd have to look through everything to know what it was all used for. I can't do anything right now though, huh? Behind the counter seating is a large kitchen. Oh, wow. I've never noticed this kitchen before. A faded memory of my grandpa making a quick meal comes to mind. I think at that time he was making a sandwich. And of course, he was happy, smiling. Okay, I'm just going to say that this kitchen is way too big. Like, this is a commercial kitchen that you'd have like at least 4 or 5 staff working here. Your grandpa ran a family restaurant. I floated through the kitchen, making my way to the back of Enchante. There wasn't much. There were the remains of what used to be a vegetable garden. In the corner, there was a small flower bed. The colorful vegetables and the pretty flowers decorating the area always looked so impressive. That's right, I remember crying here. My face grew flushed from the memory of me throwing a fuss, wanting to water flowers, rolling around and crying over it. Being back here just opens up a floodgate of memories, one after the other. I continued touring the first floor as if to search for those moments I'd forgotten. And then I mutter again, "I'm back, Grandpa." And away from Tokyo, the capital of Japan, far from the city's center, sitting in an alley after a 5-minute walk, the privately owned Café Enchanté. Oh, to run a cafe like this, I think it would be amazing. I love cafes. I actually dreamt of opening a cafe. I think that's probably a pretty popular, I guess, thing for people in a way. I think like if I ran a cafe, I absolutely would have loved it. But it's a lot of money. It's one thing, and also the social part. I think like the idea of that sort of old school feel where you owned a cafe, but you were really just like spending the day in the cafe and people would just come and like buy something from you. I kind of really enjoyed that. Like, I would just probably be playing games the whole time, and then someone would be like, "I want a coffee." I'll be like, "Oh, fine, God." But I'll be nice. I swear I'll be nice, despite what people might think. The amount of nostalgia I feel seems endless. Until I was about 4, my parents were too busy and I had lived here at Café Enchanté with Grandpa. My family, when my parents decided to settle down in the country, Grandpa continued to watch after the cafe. That was probably why I thought it would still be his forever. I never once imagined that I'd be the one to come and continue running the shop. Just notice my eyes keep closing. Let's see if I can... I think I had it a bit more sensitive from when I was having a lot more... Here we go. It probably won't close as much now. Enchante was a cafe, but it was also a place that Grandpa called home. The building was surprisingly large. The drafty second and third floors were living spaces, as only the first floor was a cafe. Why is this a living space? Oh, hey, Egg, how's it going? With the counter seats facing the bar and the cozy tables seating around the shop, there was a total of about 20 seats here. How is this like run by one person? I'm very curious. The menu board seemed to have just some basic drip coffee available. That's gross. I would change that immediately if I ran a cafe. It's enchanted with magic. The types of beans were written there, but it prompted patrons to choose their brew. You got to see it brew as you chatted. Grandpa thought it was too much of a pain to decide the type of brew himself, so he'd make the customer decide. Though I think it was really popular to be able to choose your method from the nail drip to the siphon and watch the process. That's right. Just then, from the corner of my eye, I see curtains hung behind the stairs and move toward them. I thought I had walked through all of the first floor already. What's behind these curtains? Looking from the garden, there should be another room behind these curtains. I go through them deep in thought. It's a staff-only room. I knew it. Although, what was this room for? I tilted my head in wonder at this room hidden so far in the back. It just doesn't match what I remember. Still, if it's possible, I'll be taking over this place. I should have an understanding of the interior of the shop, so... So you've inherited this space. I guess you'd be given some money to run it, right? That's at least what I think. Attempting to figure out what this last room was, I opened its doors. Something came into my vision immediately. It was an ostentatiously adorned door that didn't quite match the rest of the cafe. Come to think of it... Wait, is this room just for this door? Right, aside from the ornate door, there was nothing else there. Even though there was the space for it, like the storehouse, nothing was kept here, nothing stored, no extra furniture. Just a door. It just sits there. Why is there a door here? I took a peek behind it, but sure enough, there was nothing there. Just the rest of the room. It doesn't open either. I hadn't the slightest clue as to what it was doing here. It's just an old door. I have no idea when it might have been built. My guess is that when you flip it to open, that's when the portal opens to the other world and then like the weirdos come in. Even though there's no doubt it was old, its frame seems strangely free of blemishes. Gazing at the doorbell hung at the top, I tilted my head in wonder yet again. Maybe Grandpa bought it thinking he would use it to replace another door? No! You can't be this dumb. He always liked antiques and old things. That's the only reason I can think of as to why it would be here. Is it normal for anyone to really have just a door in here? No, it's not normal. A plate read open and closed on it, which must have been intended to use at the entrance. Oh, it teaches you what a plate is? I imagine my free-spirited and showy grandpa going through the effort and smile wryly to himself. But now that he's gone, I'll never know what he intended to do with this. I have to take over, or Enchante won't be in business anymore. I reach out to the plate marked closed. Grandpa must have turned it over before he passed. This lonely-looking plate that would turn people away, knowing the cafe would never open again. I decide to... Oh, that's the log. So if I push up, it's a log. That's so weird. If I go press up, the D-pad, I can go up and down. But if I use an analog stick to push up, it opens the log. Let's just keep this story going. I acted on a whim. This door led nowhere, and it stood in the middle of a shop that lost its owner. The sign is writhing in boredom, proclaiming the store's closed status. It seems strange for me to even feel this, but it looked a little lonely. And then she's going to change it open, and then someone's going to come in. I wonder what happens if you kept it closed, though. Let's not think too hard about that. My feelings guide me. I turn over the plate. The letters written on it jump into my sight, and in that moment, the road changed.
やっと見つけた.
The doorbell rang, announcing a customer. Hello. The light spilling from the doors blinded me, and the first thing I felt... It's the guy from the cover! Was the warmth that enveloped my entire body. A sweet embrace, as if holding something precious and delicate. Those glimmering eyes were looking straight at me. Where did he come from? Who is he?
もう二度とないかもと思って本当に
I know, right?
こんな日が来てくれるなんて
It's a bit quiet, this sound. Like, his voice sound? Sounds like he's like muttering it to me. It's gonna quickly up it a bit as well on my end. Hopefully this will improve. Most importantly, I was wondering why I was being held all of a sudden. With the question spinning in my head, I take a breath. You're a little too close. Do you mind taking a step back? I mustered all my strength to say anything I could and escape from his arms. I quickly back away to the wall, putting myself on guard, clutching my phone.
あれこれはもしかしてすっごく警戒されちゃった感じ
Even though the words held a certain intent, it seemed like he was laughing in a grin, enjoying this moment.
ああそんなに緊張しないでも大丈夫だよ俺別に怪しいものじゃないし
Sure. I can't trust you at all. Who in the world even are you? You must be a criminal. You are, right? Completely ready to call the police, I glare at the
ま
man.
さかこれでも歴史ある家の出だよなんならサインでもある
It does seem like something a suspicious person would say. I don't want that. I was trying to do my best to intimidate him, but after seeing that, it was very apparent that he was smiling. His features were beautiful, his jade eyes, his unique hair. He had these horns. This was an emergency, but his face gave me the impression he had things under control. But that aside, that embrace just now was practically assault. He's a weird guy, I agree, but I'm not sure if he was trying to intend to assault you. Wait, what? Are those really horns growing beside your ears?
触りたい
No, I'm fine. I don't want to do that.
なんだ遠慮しなくてもいいの
I do like that he's a very jolly guy. He's very cheerful. I kind of enjoy that because there's always the aloof guy and the overly nice guy that you meet first in a lot of these sort of scenarios, and they don't really do it for me. He closes the distance between us. I circle around him to get further away. Now that I look at him more closely, actually, I don't need to look closely. It wasn't only features, but his outfits also seemed very unique. It was a loose robe adorned with colors of black and purple. They were clothes not worn by anyone other than a wizard from a fantasy world. Are your clothes cosplay for some kind of wizard character?
ああこれコスプレっていうか清掃俺これでも偉い人だからさあとついでに魔法じゃなくて魔王が正解かなああそうだ
I'm gonna eat my noodles while he talks.
俺はここの店主ソーアンと知り合いだから怪しくないセーフ無害無害
Who is Soan? Oh, it's your grandpa. You know my grandpa?
そうその通りだから君のことも知ってるよソーアンの孫娘淡木琴音だよね
Yes, that's right. An acquaintance of Grandpa's. If that's true, I suppose it will put me at ease, at least for a little bit. Still, even if that's true, where did you come from? It seemed like you came from through those doors, but I was alone when I was in here earlier. I pointed my finger at the door. Was he behind the door? Although it's hard to believe he was hiding from my sight the entire time. Oh my god, you're so sick. I know, you're trying to be, a realistic person, but, you're just being obtuse, please. And until I arrived today, the shop had been closed ever since Grandpa passed away. Considering that, anyone other than myself being here is just strange.
ああその辺はどうやって説明しようかなシンプルだけど複雑っていうかね
What he glanced suggestively at was the same thing I pointed to, the door.
俺以外のみんなが揃えば話は
Oh my gosh, everyone's gonna come. Just wait, I'm gonna finish. I only got 3 mouthfuls of this noodles now. There's my eating RTA. But yeah, I bought this on holidays, this noodles, so I don't know how much it costs normally. I wouldn't pay a premium for it. Okay. Those final mouthfuls. I'm almost there. Wonder what the prequel would like. And Grandpa with all these icky men. That's a very specific prequel that I don't think they would publish under this label. Anyway, okay, let's have a sip of water. Okay, ready to go. Suddenly the horned man stopped speaking and I felt disturbance around me. What? An earthquake? The tremors get more and more intense. I thought that Enchante itself would be in trouble until...
みんな久々だから興奮気味だな。これはアンシャンテの結界がなかったら街一つ吹っ飛んじゃうね。
Barrier? A town? Blown away? What?
はいはい、質問は後。噂をすればなんとやらさ。ことね。少し下がってた方がいいかもよ。
Unable to even reply with a flick of his finger. I'm just going to eat these little scraps of noodles. For some reason, I felt my body immediately pulled backward. I fell to the ground from the sudden force. And in the next instance, what happened before me surprised me even more.
おい、じじい、店開けるのが遅えんだよ。何ヶ月待ったと思ってんだ。
ひどいです、そうは。何も言わずに締め出すなんて。退屈すぎて打点が進んだ気がします。
I guess this is the parade of hot men.
やはりアンシャンテはいい。久々に訪れるとますますそう感じるな。
Yeah, like...
なんだよ、てめえらも来てた。
Here you go, this is a aloof guy who doesn't like
し
you.
ばらく見ねえからどっかでおっちんだと思ってたぜ。
Wait, this wild-looking man had flames spilling out from his entire body.
このメンバーが死ぬというのはなかなか想像ができない事態では。
This man had clean features on his face and wings growing out of his back. Man, the art is so nice. Like, I have to say, like, these are my types. These are my types of guys. Even the dude with the strange helmet. So this is Umehara. This man looked like a knight, clad in black armor, like he was from the Middle Ages.
んなことは分かってるっつうの。相変わらず冗談が通じねえな。それより GG はどこだよ。こんだけ長いこと俺らを締め出したんだ。簡単には許さねえぞ。詫びにただ飯でもよこさねえ限りな。それは随分簡単に許している気がするな。
The face reveal night. I don't think he has a face. I think he's like Goblin Slayer style.
確かめ、状況を問い詰めるべきでしょう。予約していた作品のドラマ CD 付き限定版ちゃんと入手できているのか。
That's so funny.
あ？こいつ。
So?
そうなんだろう。しばらく見ないうちに随分と愛らしい姿。いや、どう見ても別人だろうが。どこに目つけてんだてめえらは。
カヌスの場合は文字通りの意味で、本当どこに目があるんだろうね。
I look at these three. No, four suspicious men before me and find that my mind has completely frozen. As my eyes shot around frantically, one of them slowly eased his way to me.
おいこら、不審者女。ソーアンの留守に店に入る。
No, don't be mean. I'm a nice person, I swear. What? Trespasser? That's what I should be saying. Just as I was about to yell that, the man I met first cuts in.
ごめんね、ことね。怪しくてうさんくさくて危険な奴らだけど、あんまり害はないから安心して。
Well, you act as if you're not one of them, but you're all trespassers to me.
と、 ノリでいけるかと思ったら意外と手厳しい。
I mean, including you. Who are you
ど
guys?
ちら様も何も見ての通り。
He stops to flash another smile and speaks.
異世界からのお客様だけど。
They're the isekais. They're like a boy band. They're called the isekais. They're touring. Oh, this is the opening. Here we go. Now they're gonna play this thing again. Though I think the main character actually appeals to me a lot. Like, he's this really jolly guy. I think I like him. I think I would go for, and I never go for the main guy. I like main guy. You see, he's headless. I would like the angel guy, but like, I don't know. It's like, I think I just like the angel guy because he's nice. The Osan style guy kind of appeals to me a bit though. These games have main guys, huh? Yeah, so they're like the canon guys, I guess. The ones that are in the main sort of like CG. But at the same time, you're not, I guess, limited to them completely. Like, you can still have these guys, but I guess there's always the assumption that you'll have one guy that is the one you want to safely marry. I don't know, actually. I feel like the genre's probably changed a bit now. And I think like maybe this would be seen in some Otome game reviewers, like players, as very like uninteresting because it's just like a visual novel with 5 guys. Is there a secret dude? I think in this one there isn't. That's the thing. I think all the guys there are who you get. But actually you might, I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I feel like there isn't, or if there is, they're not romanceable characters.
まだ信じられないです。この前来た時は元気だったのに。
It's a murder mystery.
人間っていうのは短命だからね。ああ見えて、ソアンも結構な年だったし。
I was going to believe like he was actually like also an isekai person, and you're like the child of an isekai person. I don't know. Right, dude with a casual man. No, yeah. It is very funny. He's just got this. It looks like he just came from Kathmandu. It's funny though because like the outfit that he has, like the purple guy has, is really sort of like pretty and like intricate, and then you have Vest Man. And him, who's just got a t-shirt. Ah, so that's Ignis.
ここでいじけてりゃ、ジジイが墓から這い出してくるなら、俺だっていくらでもいじけてやるよ。けどそうじゃねえ。ジジイは死んだ。だったら、俺たちが考えるべきは、これからどうする。
Why does he like love him so much? I get it, like, you know, he must have been a very nice person, but he just owned a cafe, right?
見た目に反して常識的だな。
そうですね。見た目はどう見ても
Seemed like a ruffian.
見た目についててめえらだけには言われたくねえよ。特にそこの鉄仮面野郎が。
でも実際、イグニスの言う通りだよね。
Yeah, there is a grandpa prequel that we need. Maybe we should write this to Automate and ask them.
このアンシャンテの行く末はどうなるのか。それ次第で俺たちだっていろいろと今後を考えなきゃいけないでしょ。
そうだな。その通りだ。我々がここに来られていたのもソーアン殿の存在あってのことだからな。 まあな、どういう経緯であれ一度締め出されちまったら無理に来るって。
They're like vampires, they need to be invited in first.
うん。ということでさ、俺たちまずはテーブルの下で頭抱えてるあの子をどうにかしてあげるべきじゃない？
The first trespasser is what he's called. The fact that these men came out of nowhere through a door that led to nothing. The fact that it felt like their appearances changed the moment I glanced away from them. The fact that they call themselves guests from another world. I just don't know what's going on anymore. Honestly, I just want them to leave me alone until I wake up from this horrible dream. Terrible dream, even. I hold my head in thought, but as if ignoring my pathetic
あ
plea.
わきことね。だって。
The four men I could only see as suspicious trespassers come closer and closer to me.
こいつがジジイの孫娘ってマジかよ。いまいち信じられね
間違いないでしょう。彼女にはソーアンの面影もありますし。
I love how they're like comparing you to your grandpa. The young man who had wings spoke gently, peering into my face.
突然の訪問、失礼しました。けれど私たちは怪しいものではありません。
Really?
無論だ。ソーアン殿にかけて誓おう。我々は決して怪しくなどない。
He's the most suspicious one.
なぜに一歩下がるのだ。
え。いやもうてめえは黙っとけカヌズ。見るからに不審者のてめえが口開くとこれっぽっちも話が進まねえから。
ということでことね。変な人たちに囲まれて不安だろうけど、話だけでも聞いてくれるかな。
Why do you keep trying to talk to me as if you aren't one of them? No matter how many times I close my eyes or pinch my cheeks, it doesn't seem like this situation will disappear. I take a deep breath, stand up with caution, and with eyes half open, take a look. There's the man I first met, or rather, the one that held me unexpectedly. He was a young man who had a refined aura to him despite breaking into the cafe. Then the rowdy-looking man, glaring at me with an unamused look on his face. Suspicious trespassers. He doesn't even get a description. They're all suspicious, considering they broke into the cafe. But ignoring the one with the helmet on, they seem to be normal people, perhaps? Still... I love how she's trying to say, are they normal? At the same time when she was like, wow, there's this door that says closed, and I don't know why it's sitting in the middle of this room. This secret room. Then what was with how they looked just now? Ah, that was their regular outfit, and then like they suddenly had they changed into their Uniqlo fit. Let me figure out what's going on. You all are guests, right? They seem pretty familiar with Enchante, and they do seem to know Grandpa. So the answer that all that leads to is, are you guests of the cafe?
そうだよ。つうか、常連ってやつだ。もともと俺たちはここに
They're like loiterers. You hang around here?
そうだね。朝から晩まで、おはようからお休みまでって感じかな。
So they just hang
私
out.
に関しては、いわゆる
They really do. Come on, man, you gotta do something like about that. That's kind of that's actually a bit of a nuisance. But who are these people in the first place? The very first moment I met them, how they looked when they first appeared, when I saw them in that brief moment. The man clad in armor over his entire body. Oh my gosh, how many times are you describing these people the same way over and over again? The man with wings on his back. Like literally, like all this... This is why I can't do Atsume games for too long. Like, The wavering flames. The way they looked back then. Everyone, I feel like you all looked much different when you first got here.
ああ、私たちが力を行使している際の姿ですか？
ああ、そっか。俺たちは無意識にやっちゃってるし、ソアンはあまりにも気にしないから、なんだかある意味新鮮な反応だね。
あ？格好うんぬんって。これのことか。
It's a flaming man. No sooner than he spoke, he transformed as if he were in a movie. Just then, a wind so hot that made it hard to breathe swept across my face. I know people had like complaints about this Atsume game being like badly translated, but just, you know, fair. I nod emphatically and everything disappears in the next instant.
確かに改めてこれが何かと問われると何と答えればいいのか。
But I think there's also a very small markup for these games, which makes it really hard to recoup costs unless you're charging like 3 times what the cost is.
邪魔だぞとな。
おい、しみじみ嬉しそうに語ってるけどよ。現在進行形で邪魔だぞ。
That armor guy, like the night guy, that's for like people with armor kinks, I guess.
こういうことができる存在というだけで、それ以上でもそれ以下でもありませんよ。
I see.
お、疑問解決？よかったよかった。
Calling them answered is a stretch. I went from I don't get it to I have no idea what's happening. Then, in a spark of curiosity, I ask another question. Okay then. How about you? Are you able to do that too? As if he didn't expect me to ask that, he looked a bit surprised and then,
琴音はエッチだな。
Oh, what makes you say that? And so, by asking those few questions, I came to the following conclusion. These men were in fact outsiders separated far from the rules of this world. So, what or who really are all of you? It seemed ridiculous to have to ask such a question, but I had no other choice but to do so. I reluctantly asked my question, and the men all looked at each other. With all their different expressions, some that seemed surprised, some that understood.
やはりソーアン殿からは事情を聞いていなかったか。
The most suspicious, the one with the helmet, which was glowing oddly on the inside, spoke as he was pushing his chest
では
forward.
改めて自己紹介をさせてもらうと。
His name
我
is
の名はカヌス。
Canus.
カヌス・エスパーダ。
Canus Espada?
妖精界メディオの騎士。ソーアン殿には大変世話になった。
So why do you like come here to hang out? Il Fado de Rie?
私はイルファド・デ・リエ、天界カエルム出身の天使ではなく、その法を破り落とされた打天使です。同じくソーアンには世話になりました。彼は
It's the fallen angel trope, and you'll have to find out why he got banished. It was probably like something really like, I had to save a human, and it was wrong because I broke the rules, but blah blah blah. Anyway.
イグニス・カリブンクルス。
Carbunculus. It's from the Beast Road Beastia.
じゃあ最後は俺かな。魔界アスモディアから来たミシェル・アレックス。見ての通りとっても強い魔王様。
Miseru. Oh. All of them. go. A demon king? Even I realize how dumbfounded I sound as those words spilled from my lips. The man standing in front of me, Monsieur. I vaguely remember him saying something like that the first time he appeared.
魔王
Right, a demon
人
king.
間界では割とメジャーな職業じゃない？名前くらい聞いたことあるでしょ？
Not really. A major role. You mean that sort of character, like the ones in video
人
games?
間を虐殺したり、世界を征服したり、闇に包み込んだり、お姫様をさらったりするあれだね。
Alright.
だから油断してると、君もさらっちゃう。
Stop! Talking about massacring people with that smile on doesn't seem quite right.
ああ、とはいえ、ここではオフだしね。魔王様と。
He's on his break.
ああ、でも、ミッシーとか、みっちゃん呼びも捨てがたいな。ほら、相性って、なんだか距離が縮まった気がしない？
No, I have no need for that. I don't need to close the gap between us. Well, in any case, I suppose I should ask about someone else. Wait, I can't process what's happening. I crouched down with a headache caused by all the strange words and weird instructions. At the least, I was able to understand that all of these people were absolute weirdos. Out of all those people, if I were to pick who was the strangest of all. Your Canis the Knight, was it?
カヌス・エスパードだ。この度はお悔やみ申し上げる。
Thank you. He looks strange, but he is gentlemanly. Putting that aside, there are a lot of things I'd like to ask.
他ならぬソーアン殿の孫娘の言葉だ。答えられる話ならば、まず、身長は190センチで、体重は秘密。趣味は筋トレやガーデニングなどを少々たしなんで。
No, wait, that's not what I want to know. Hang on, why is your weight a secret? That's such a silly... Wait, that's not important. What is important is what's obvious. I want to know why you're dressed like that. In particular, the helmet. Why a helmet? After my short tirade, Camus thinks for a moment and speaks.
なかなかのコーデだと自負している。何か気に障る部分があったのか。
Oh, he's so charming. I actually kind of like him now. Coordinated.
人間界に来た際、ソーアン殿に言われたのだ。お前は目立つから見た目を気にしろと。
And that's why you have that outfit on? Taking another look from the neck down, he seemed like any other guy around town with a normal shirt and vest on. But his neck and up was covered by an iron helmet like one from the Middle Ages. I can't possibly be the only one here who noticed Grandpa's advice hadn't been applied very well at all. I happened to glance to the side to find the Demon King snickering as he reread my mind.
他に何か気になる点はあるだろうか。
It's not that I found another point, it's everything about you. The light gleaming from his helmet catches my eye. It almost looks like flames, but what in the world is that? What's that light coming from your neck?
それはあれだね。CG 的なやつだよ。
He has RGB gamer light flames. I know that's not what it
いいから
is.
そういうことにしとけ。こっちも説明するのめんどくせえし。
Seriously? It's clearly not normal though. Okay, fallen angel? What do I do? Heavenly words and angels, demon worlds and demon kings. There are so many things wrong to point out that I don't know how to react. How much of this are they serious about? How much of this is a joke? As I sit, struggling what to ask next, one of them walks towards me. Is it the angel?
今は戸惑いばかりでしょうが、一度で理解する必要はありませんよ。こちらも少しずつ説明しますから、私たちのことも、この店のことも。あなたは新しいマスターなのですから。
Was it Urfa?
残念ですが不正解です。それでは好感度は上がりませんね。
It's alright, I don't want to date you, it's fine. friendship level?
私は打天使イルファド・デ・リエ。呼びにくければイルで結構です。
Il smiles after his explanation. I'm not entirely sure if he's a fallen angel, but there's definitely an otherworldly aura about him that would make me believe so. He carries himself with poise and seems the most normal out of the four of them.
おや、なんと発売日の変更ですか。カウントダウンを。
Ah, he's an otaku. That's his shtick. I give an exasperated look at the fallen angel who gestures to excuse himself as he takes out his smartphone. What are you doing?
発売日の変更通知が届いたので、新作の公式サイトを確認しようかと。展開だと電波が入らないので。ですが、お？攻略対象が追加。
He claims to come from another world, yet he just naturally took out a smartphone. On top of that, I really have no idea what he's mumbling about. I guess even if he seems normal, even this guy has something wrong with him. Well, in any case, I suppose I should ask about someone else. So, how am I supposed to be responding to these earth-shattering self-introductions? Though rigid from shock, I noticed something. That one, the one who called himself Ignis, was staring at me. He's scary. I could feel his gaze upon me. But looking a little more closely, the print on his t-shirt is kind of cute. Nyan, heh. And he's gonna be like, what are you looking at? I like cute things. I mean, unable to withstand his piercing gaze anymore, I gather my courage and address him. You're the demon beast, Ignis, right? Did I do something wrong? I don't know why he's staring at me. Well, that's what I thought until he dismisses me with a grunt and looks away. Like, I always feel like when there's characters like this, where they're like, oh, you know, your grandpa was such a great man, your dad, your whatever was such a great man. I'm like, are you not into women? Like, do you just hate women? It's okay if you don't like women. But, you know, that's a question for another time. Huh? He flips his head to the side after muttering his rude comment. Why do I have to receive this kind of abuse in our first meeting? Yeah! Stand up for yourself, punch him. And so after a bit of conversation...
そういえば、ソーアンが亡くなったっていうなら、彼のコーヒーももう飲めないんだね。
そうなるな。重ね重ね、惜しい方をなくしたものだ。
コーヒーなんて苦いだけじゃねえか。俺としちゃ飯が食えなくなる方がよっぽど重要だって。
苦いというよりも、イグニスの場合、飲むと死んでしまうのでは？
はあ？なんでだよ。コーヒー飲んだだけで死ぬわけねえだろ。
なんと、当人が知らないとは危険ですね。いいですか、イグニス。犬にコーヒーや玉ねぎを与えると。
Okay.
だから俺を犬扱いすんなってんだよ、この箱入り天使が。
After their fantasy-ridden introductions, they chatter amongst themselves.
さてと、どうかなことね。俺たちが何者かちゃんと伝わった。
From the looks of them, it didn't seem like they were trying to trick me or tell me absurd lies about alternate worlds. Right, even though... What did he say for Angel Nerd? Koi Tenshi. I think like... I was not paying attention. Wait, let's look this up. Because I think in yeah, let's do it.
だから俺を犬扱いすんなってんだよ、この箱入り天使が。
Hakoiri Tenshi. So it's like Hakoiri, you know, boxed up Tenshi.
さてと、
Anyway, that was fun. I like this function. This is actually very useful. Right. Even though I couldn't quite believe them. So basically, you all are regulars here at the cafe. And you're not humans, but beings that have come from another world, right?
そう、その通りです。さすがはソーアンの孫娘。
ああ、これで一安心だ。それと、そのまま本題に移りたい。実は、我らはアンシャンテ。
The exit's that way.
なんと、その様子からしててっきり理解してもらえたのかと。
No, what I understood was the fact that you are all completely and utterly suspicious. If you tried to tell any sane person about any of these fantastical delusions, they would never believe you. I glare intensely at the faces around me. The only way this makes sense is if there was a hidden camera and someone comes and tells me this was all a big prank.
あらら、これはどうしたものかな。現代の若者は疑い深いね。
This is, of course, a normal reaction. At that point, Ignis and everyone took a seat nearby and showed they were ready to have a serious chat with me. They're gonna be serious.
あれだ。この際俺たちのことを信じるかどうかは後回しでいい。
These guys need a new cafe to go
それ
to.
より一つ聞く。てめえはここに何をしに来た？
I'm trying to run a business, man. Like, it's my business. Don't tell me what to do. What? His eyes squinted a bit more. It was silent. His sharp gaze was upon me, scanning every little detail.
ソーアンの孫、淡きことね。てめえの話は俺たちもジジイから何度も聞かされてる。昔はこの店でジジイと住んでたらしいが、最近じゃ仕事が忙しいとかいう理由で随分会ってなかったそうじゃねえか。
I mean,
そんな君が。
so why are you here now of all times? And what do you really think of Enchante? Your answer is very important to us. I had a feeling they also guessed as to why the granddaughter of the shop's owners came. After the shop was abandoned for so long, and that this meant Enchante was at a
店を
crossroads.
継ぐのか、それとも畳むのかってね。
Mrs. spoke as if he read my mind, as if reacting to his somber smile. I hold a letter toward them. The reason I came here is because of this letter I received from Grandpa. If I die, I leave this shop in your hands. Go there yourself and have a look around. If you feel you don't need it, sell it, or you can feel free to make it your own place. That's what the letter says.
ソーアン殿の遺言か。
I nod. My fingers graze the leaf of paper as I look toward them again. You're right. I didn't take in time to see Grandpa. But it's not because I didn't want to. I love him. He used to take care of me. If he knew I took advantage of his kindness to escape from my current world's problems, I'm sure he would have been sad.
逃げ出すですか？
Right. I didn't want my dear grandpa to hate me for leaving that place. But in the end, his passing is what brought me this letter and brought me here again. The fact that this has all been a trigger for me to escape that place. That's the truth.
何のことかさっぱりわからない。
Obviously, you have some sort of traumatic memory, and one of these guys is going
ソーアン
to
が
solve
そん
it.
な細けいことを言う口かよ。バカみてえに笑って。そんで
Ignis's words were tinged with sadness. Hearing them, I turned toward the others. Grandpa talked about how important this cafe always was to him. So, if there are any secrets to it, I'd like to know every detail. So, please tell me, what exactly is this cafe? What are these alternate worlds? My question made them look at each other. The sound of the shop returned to what it must have been before we arrived. Silent.
言葉で説明するのは難しい。だが、ここまであなたが見た通りだ。ここは喫茶アンシャンテ。異界へつながるゲートがある店。異界の住民たちが訪れる喫茶店。 店のマスターであるソーアン殿は我々のような人外を客として受け入れ、このアンシャンテを営業していたのだ。
昔からここはそういう場所でした。本来交わらない世界が交わる店、奏でられたひとときの幻、我々の居場所。
最も小さかった君は覚えてないかもしれないけどね。
Was I there? Yeah. Wait, did I meet you at some point in the past?
ほんの
You're gonna have a fateful meeting. You guys are destined to be together. If that's the truth, had they already been coming to the cafe back when I was still living here as a child? I close my eyes to try and remember. Fragments of images begin to cross my mind. Events buried in my memories of these past 15 years begin to surface.
俺が店を開く一番の理由はな、うちに来てくれる奴らがいるからだ。
Of course, these memories are from when I was a child. It's difficult to recall them. But I don't think I had ever considered them then that the customers I saw weren't normal human beings. Now that they mention it, I feel something nagging in the back corners of my mind. These still fleeting, fragmented memories slumbering within.
遠くから。そう。信じられないくらい遠くから。
Dad literally told you that it was an isekai cafe, and you're like, nah. That's right. Grandpa was always so cheerful when he would talk about the guests that visit. It didn't matter if they were human or not. I probably just don't remember, but I'm certain Mizura and the others would be in those memories. All of these bizarre stories I'm hearing, I feel like I can believe them all just by recalling the heartfelt words of my grandpa. It's all true, isn't it? About other worlds and non-humans. That grandpa kept this place open for all of you.
まあね。というか、俺たち自身の存在が一番の証拠だと思うんだけどさ。
私も嘘ではないと保証します。私はれっきとした打天使であり、このアンシャンテの居候でしたから、ここはそんな我々にとって最高の喫茶店でした。
I feel in the real world, if this was the thing, you would get competitors, so there'd be different cafes that different isekai people would go to, and it would be sort of like a rivalry. At least that's how I see it.
ソーアン殿が亡くなった以上、今まで通りとはいかないだろうな。
Jonas shakes his head with sullen movements. You all came to the shop from other worlds using that door, right? So, what happens if the shop was demolished? If the shop closed down and was demolished, I'm pretty sure this door wouldn't survive. He had monopoly with the portal access. He had exclusive licensing agreements. The lock?
ゲート。あの扉にプレートがかかっていただろう。
The plate, I assume it's the one that reads open and close, right? I see, but is that the lock?
なもんでね。うちの鍵はあれなんだよ。
The best.
そのままの意味だけど、オープンなら扉は開くし、クローズドなら扉は開かない。俺たちとしては、イグニスが言ったように、鍵さえ開いていれば。
Let's try destroying the door and see what happens then.
けど、たまーに良くないものが出てくる可能性もあるから、基本的にはちゃんと施錠した方がいいね。
I know you're gonna forget to close it one night and then someone tries to attack you. What unpleasant things.
世界を滅ぼす系の者たちですね。あとは自分以外の生き物を目にすると容赦なく虐殺するものとか。
That's too dangerous. Grandpa, how could you open this shop without batting an eye at this kind of that kind of
ち
danger?
なみに店舗を潰したら異世界の扉がどうなっちゃうのか心配になるかもしれないけど、そこは心配いらないよ。
Wait, so it's like Stonehenge or something? Like it's just stuck
そ
there?
れに店舗も俺やイルが術をかけててね。完全じゃないけど。So
if you went to like destroy this thing, you would just like be like, nah, I'm leaving. Eluded demolition due to its mysterious power. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to accept this as the truth. I see, that's astounding. It does seem rather convenient.
そういうものってだけだよ。意外と知らないだけで。
He's like, it's magic. But what about it's magic? Don't worry, magic. But if that's really the case, this shop couldn't ever disappear, isn't that
場所
right?
だけはね。けどそこが居心地のいい場所かどうか、それはまた別の問題でしょ。俺たちが望んでいる場所は、この店のアンシャンテのマスターが俺たち人外を快く迎えてくれる場所なんだ。
A place where you feel welcome. Why is Ignis always so unhappy? Like, why are you even here, man?
俺たちが痛感してるんだけどね。
A silence once again drapes over the cafe as those words were uttered. While I was still searching for what to say, Mizuru suddenly stands up from his seat.
何せよ、急な話なのは理解してるよ。
Yeah, go home, guys. I'm gonna, like, think about it.
俺たちは少し席を外すから、ちょっと考えてみて。
Wait, but where are you going?
我々は各々がソーアン殿よりアンシャンテの上階を間借りしていてな。久方ぶりだ。
Wow, this is like literally that otome trope, like that shoujo manga trope, where you live in a house with all these hot boys, well, hottish boys and him. You rented rooms?
頻繁にここへ訪れ宿泊することもあったのだな。
Where's my pay? Pay me, bitch. Come to think of it, Earl did clearly mention he was living in the shop. It's true that I had yet to see the second floor Enchante. I really would have never imagined that these non-human guests would be staying up there.
つうか、ジジイが死んだなら、俺たちの部屋どうなってんだ？
I'm not sure. I haven't been upstairs yet. I don't know if a housing authority or city officials have come to see the property.
それは困ります。
Bill abruptly stands up.
私の部屋には大事な宝物がある
But
の
he's got figures. It's definitely anime figures, and they're probably like ecchi
こ
figures.
うしてはいられません。一刻
gonna
も
be
早
like-
く無事を確かめなくては。
A girl with her tushy out. With that, Il rushes up to the stairs in a huff. I think he might have flown a bit, even. What in the world?
あいつはいつもああなんだよ。
というか、ここの結界はゆかりのない人よけも兼ねてるし、まあ心配ないとは思うけどね。
んじゃ、俺も部屋行ってくるわ。ガネス、お前も相部屋だし、来るだろう。
ああ。とはいえ、我々は物が少ない。ついでに簡単な掃除でもしておくか。
As they begin to climb the
それ
stairs.
じゃあことね、君は一度ゆっくり考えてみて。なんならコーヒーでも入れてみたら。
Don't tell me what to do. Mizuru, the last one to leave, winked at me as he spoke. After the sounds of their steps faded away, the space around me was hushed in comparison to how it was moments ago. But then this would have been what Enchante would have been right now if those men hadn't arrived. People from other worlds, non-humans, come here to this cafe, huh? Now as I sit here by myself, I'm beginning to question the very nature of reality. Ugh, I need to gather my thoughts. Mizuru was considerate enough to let me have some time alone. Maybe I should go outside and get some air. I look to the horizon. The sun is setting. I take in its light and let out a sigh. The cold begins to grip me as the day ends. Come on, hottie. I sit on a bench and go over everything that had just happened. I found that door. I met Mizuru and the others. Canis, Il, and Ignis. They all claim they aren't human. All of this easily erasing whatever knowledge of the world I used to hold. What happened to your coffee that you were going to make? Irk. Ow. I knew it was a cliche, but I pinched my cheek to make sure I could still feel it. I did. So that meant this is all real. I pinched my elbow and my hand, But of course, the result is the same. Sitting there, I take a breath deeper than the deepest ocean. It seems like every guest Grandpa rented to developed a meaningful friendship with him. Okay.
場所だけ
I hope they pay rent.
けどそこが居心地のいい場所かどうか。俺たちが望んでいる場所はこの店のアンシャンテのマスターが俺たち人外を心よく迎えてくれる場所なんだ。
Pay rent. Holding this irritable feeling, I let out a groan. It was a sound no one would expect to come from someone like me. What do I do? The sunset, it's so pretty. But I can only escape my reality for so long. As if to try and find an answer, I opened the letter from Grandpa once again.
ことね。本当はこう SNS 的ななんかでメッセージを残そうと思ったんだが、それじゃ遺言として認められないらしい。だから仕方なく手紙に書いとく。
Honestly, he always loved breaking the mold. A bittersweet feeling draws a smile. I bite my lip as I read over the letter again. An official will was delivered to my parents, so this is basically just a personal message from grandfather to granddaughter. Most of the content was just random chatter. Questions about me eating properly, making sure I was being nice to my parents, and if I was doing okay at the company where I got the job, things like that. When Grandpa would come to the house every so often, we had so much fun talking. He was sensitive to how I felt. He never did try to pry too much into my daily life. I guess this letter, it helped him work through all of that concern he must have had for me. If I am guessing, she's probably like miserable in her job, but like it's what's paying the bills for her family or something, whatever, so she's trying to tough it out. I'm sorry, Grandpa. I hope like a hottie comes to visit her. It's difficult to talk out loud, but the food supply company— yeah, I was totally right! Where I heard was infamous for being strict about the work. That became apparent right away once I started my job there. The sales department would go door to door selling health products and supplements that were basically scams. You worked for a scam company. No. There's suddenly like— before I was just like, oh, you're right, you know, typical Atsume game stuff. Now you're a scam worker. You're a liar. They brought me on right out of high school, even though I barely made the cut, so I forced myself to endure the labor. But after so many days of working there, the ringing of a phone would trigger me. I can still hear my boss yelling. You can always be replaced. Just do what I say. You have nowhere else to go, dude. No one needs you. I picked you up, so you better be great. I was tired, bitter, and just wanted to quit. It was at that time when I got Grandpa's letter, which I'm looking at right. Wait, so you're right out of high school. You're like, you're not even an adult at this point, I hope. Unless you've been working there for like a few years. I hope so. I hope you're an adult.
それがお前の居場所になるならそれでいい。お前の人生。
Oh, I'm 19? Wait, I'm not a legal adult. This is so wrong. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You're a fugitive. You've been scamming people. I fold the letter and take a deep breath. There's no one here to guide me now. But still, I really hate that there isn't. I know, I just want things to be easy. I think of what Grandpa would say, wishing that he were here right now. Huh? I thought they went to check on their rooms. Aw, there he is. My face lifts up at the doorbell ringing to see Mr. standing there.
俺だけはアンシャンテに泊まったりしてなかったからさ。特に部屋も借りてないし、ただブラブラって店の中うろついてきただけ。
You can stay in my room anytime.
魔王の仕事があるから基本夜には帰っちゃうけど。
Mr. smiles, adding that he'd continue to come if I were to take over the shop. He then comes to sit on the bench with me. Oh, I didn't expect that. I'm sure it's not as bad as ill, but I did imagine that you'd be living here too.
俺ってばそんなに怠惰な感じ？いると一緒とか、ちょっとショックかも。
Ill is a mess? I couldn't really see that at all. More importantly, is it okay for you to look like that out here?
大丈夫、大丈夫。
He's...
魔王様はチートが使えてなんぼですよ。他人の認識いじるなんて、ちゃちゃいなちゃい。
So he just calls everything a cheat. He stretched calmly, saying that scary fact. I wondered how detached from humanity he really was. I mean, just look at his clothes, his face, the way he talks, the way he laughs. Maybe he doesn't look that different yet.
というか、まだ考え事の最中だった。提案したくせに邪魔しちゃったらごめん。
Oh, no, it's fine. Actually, in all honesty, it was helpful that he came to chat. I couldn't help but feel like thinking about this on my own would just get me down.
それさ、ソーアンからの手紙？
As he pointed to the letter, I realized I forgot to put it away. Oh, yes it is. I was holding it to my chest out of reflex, probably because it was taking me through all of those memories and emotions just now. Responding ambivalently, he stares at the letter for a moment, then speaks.
辛いもの食べられないの知ってた？唐辛子とかもう全然ダメでさ。
His sudden comment caught me off guard. Huh? I never knew. Grandpa always seems so
だ
sprightly.
よね。キャラじゃないよね。その他にも、実はゴキブリがダメとかさ。
Really? Well, I can't deal with cockroaches either. Izzo continued on, speaking kindly of the grandfather I didn't know, though I'm sure it was a tiny bit of things he wanted to say. I could tell these memories were very precious to him.
ソーアンはさ、大雑把な性格の割に上手だったんだよね。コーヒー入れるの。
Yeah, it was only when he poured coffee, though only might be a bit mean, that he was so intentional and serious. Izzo nods in agreement with my comment.
魔王も騎士も
You need a prequel. You're gonna have to write the fanfic
こ
of
の
this
店にいる
prequel.
限りはただの客。コーヒーを頼んでおやつをつまんでただただそんな時間を楽しむ場所。そういう場所なんだよここは。だからこそ俺たちはこの店がアンシャンテが好きなんだ。
You're not going to ask me, are you, to take over this cafe?
まあそうだね。うまく言えないけどそれは違うかなって。そりゃついで欲しいは欲しいけどさ。
Laughing a bit to himself, he stood up, looking satisfied somehow.
とにかくさ、何もかもが君にとっては急すぎるし、決断が難しいのは承知の上だよ。
After I nod in response, he pauses for a moment, then speaks again.
明日の予定は？
I have
ソ
nothing.
ーアンに聞いてたけど、確か今の勤め先って東北なんだよね。
Tomorrow, I don't have anything planned. As for work... Fuck that work, man. You are cheating people. I'm sure they replaced you already, man.
ほどね。
You are not working there. Don't work there. Come on. You know. Come on, girlie. You know.
そっか。じゃあ明日またここに来てみない？
To Enchante?
そう。もちろん君さえ嫌じゃなければだけど、せっかく時間があるならいろいろ話してみたくてさ。店を継ぐ継がないは別として、俺は君のことを知りたいし、君に俺のことを知ってほしい。
Mizu gave a smile that did not look at all suspicious and was actually friendly. I haven't been asked a question like that in a while, outside of a family context anyway. I put up my guard and reflex and probed him. And why would you want to do that?
それはもちろん運命の出会いだからなんちゃってね。
Even if it was a joke, he had the guts to mention something as cheesy as destiny. And him saying it with such a carefree smile brought a smile to my face as well. Yes, it's possible that this is destiny, considering it would be impossible for a normal person to meet a demon king.
魔王様ってことやっと信じてくれた？
Well, I wouldn't get anywhere if I didn't.
なんだ妥協か。まだ疑わしいって言うならもっと説得力ある証拠
He's gonna show you his special evidence.
そうだね。あの太陽
Whoa, whoa! Alright, that was accidental. There we go. I actually pressed the skip button.
例えばロマンチックにあの太陽を砕いてみせてとかこの星を跡形もなく滅ぼしてと君直々のお願いならそのぐらいのことはしてあげるよ。
Is that romantic? His smile scares me as if to say he would actually go through with that.
まあその件も含めてさ明日のご来店お待ちしております。なんて本来言うべきは俺じゃないんだけど。
I'll think about it. I'll consider whether or not I'll return. Even if I were to start heading back now, I'd be home around midnight. Considering how dangerous that might be, maybe it's better I stay here tonight. But I'm a bit reluctant to stay at Enchante with all these people I don't even know. For now, I let Mr. know that I'll be leaving to get a hotel for the night.
わかった。じゃあ他のみんなには俺の方から伝えておく。
Why are you staying? Girl, how much money will they pay you? I wouldn't even pay for a hotel. I'm broke. Will everything be okay with the
カラス
lock?
がこっちに残るから多分大丈夫。ゲート側の管理も任せておいて。それじゃあことね。また明日。
Right, see you tomorrow. Oh.
ど
Oh no, it's nothing really. I haven't said see you tomorrow to anyone in such a long time. It really was nothing. Outside of work, I just didn't seem to live the same way other people did. Miser didn't make me feel weird, and he replied shyly.
俺もだよ。
He smiled with an endless kindness. What is your childhood, man? It was then I realized that I was no longer just considering coming by tomorrow. Once I got to the hotel, the promise I made to see Miser became rather clear. The hotel I was able to find was very nice considering how little it cost. After taking a shower and changing, I lie down on the bed in my room. So tired. It's definitely due to mental stress. It's time I get to sleep. I let out a yawn as I reach out to the light by the pillow. No matter how many times I think about it, I really just experienced something insane, though I no longer thought it was a dream. Still feeling the small morsel of excitement toward visiting Enchante tomorrow. I close my eyes and give in to the sleep. I'm trying to think maybe I'll keep playing for roughly a bit more and then stop at the 2-hour mark, I want to say, because this is kind of pretty heavy stuff. It sounds like a child, someone crying. Whoa, whoa. What is happening? That was kind of loud. Whoa, desert. Solitude is lonely. ... My mind was blank and I had no idea where I was or when this was. I know, right? This just when I was like, I've been waiting for you. A person appeared without a sound and stretched out their hand. That's the hand of the evil guy. Their trembling fingers it's a demon guy. That's his hands. They literally sank in. They plunged in, like a hand submerging into water. Urgh. My heart felt like an alarm going off. My body shook in pain. Unable to breathe, I could feel my consciousness slipping. But there was something more harrowing. Help me. It clung onto me. This unknown plea rang in my head. It was so pitiful, so sad. I tried batting away the hand, but I just couldn't, no matter how hard I tried. You're gonna have to stop some sort of world destruction event by romancing the Demon King. That's so weird. I woke up to the sound of my heavy heartbeat. It took me a moment to realize the space around me was just a hotel room that I had booked for the evening. I don't remember everything very well, but that definitely felt like a nightmare. In an attempt to dig up the memories from it, I grabbed the sides of my head. Just then the alarm goes off. I look at the time on the clock. It's already this late. I'll have to hurry or I'll miss checkout. I flung myself up from the bed and started to get ready for the day. I rushed through checking out my room and leaves the hotel quickly. My feet were moving on their own, making their way towards Enchante. Though I inadvertently made Mizu a promise, I actually began to feel a little excitement to go back there again. I didn't have a solid conversation with each guest yesterday. I need to do that today. A conversation about things that don't necessarily have to do with Enchante. I was hoping for a fresh start today, especially after my terrible dream. And when I was walking along when all of a sudden I heard a clack. It was from a little up ahead. Something appeared. It bounced once, twice, and was rolling towards me from the street. Curious about what it was, I bent down to pick it off the ground. A pen? It didn't seem like a regular pen from a department store. Beneath the navy surface of it were a set of initials engraved in brilliant gold. This must have been custom made.
ごめんね、お嬢さん。それ僕のなんだ。拾ってくれてありがとう。
I looked toward the person whose initials must be the ones found on this pen. Hello, sir.
鍵刺したままでさ。よかったら持ってきてくれるかい？
No! Lazy. Oh, sure. The man was wearing a casual suit as he looked in my direction. I walked towards him, brushing some of the dirt that had gotten on the pen. I hand it over as he gives me a smile.
Yeah, ありがとう。
I think it's a bit
メモを取った表紙に
questionable as a 19-year-old girl having this kind of guy to romance, but no problem. It's a beautiful pen. I hope it didn't get scuffed. I was about to say goodbye when...
まあ、それとお嬢さん。ついでに君個人に一つ質問し...
What is it? I'm not from around here. I don't know the streets very
あ、い
well.
や。聞きたいのは道じゃないんだ。言ったでしょ？君個人にって。
He's probably younger than the competition. It's true. It's true. What?
けど、そうか。立ち話もなんだし。
No. Danger.
さっきペン
Danger.
を拾ってもらったお礼も兼ねて。
Just give me money.
終わらせて
I'm
もらえ
okay
る
with
と嬉し
that.
い。
Like, it's $20, whatever. What do I do? Is this about to be one of those instances of coercion I'm always hearing about? I need to find a way to get out of this. I'm sorry. I appreciate the offer, but I have a few things that I need to take care of.
それは残念。
Oh my gosh! You are so nosy! Get out of my life!
魔王や打天使がいる。喫茶
Whoa! No, 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 no. Now he had my attention. How do you know that? Or was this person like Mizu and the others?
正直なリアクションがあり。 ごめんね。
He sounds...
僕は別に
You know, you are suspicious.
淡きことね。
You are suspicious. Don't lie.
君のおじいさんとは知り合いだったんだ。いわば、アンシャンテの常連の一人。
You knew my grandpa?
ということで、今更だけど自己紹介を。
So, you're an old dude. Name is Kaoru.
僕はリンドを薫。
Why do you have the names of all the cool people in anime?
人間だよ。
Mr. Rindo, a regular at Enchante. I let down my guard after he mentioned he was a human, but only a little bit. How did he even know my name? Ignis and the others didn't know who I was before hearing me say my name. I'm sure he could tell how guarded I was when he looked into my eyes. Not seeming to care much about that, Rindo continued speaking rather casually.
君のことは噂に聞いたよ。
What
ソワンさんの
rumors?
件も含めてね。
Leave me alone, I just want to run a cafe.
安心
I just want to
と
run a
この町に
cafe. Well, no, I hadn't decided on that yet.
まだね。けどその感じだともう若干ほだされちゃってるのかな。まったく厄介だな。
Annoying.
ああ、アンシャンテのね。あそこにいる人外連中のことさ。ホットでのおじさんの忠告だし、怪しむのも仕方ないとは思うけど、やめておいた方がいいよ、あそこは。
Why? Why is that?
至極簡単なお話。あそこにいる人
No,
外連
you're
中
way
あんまりないから
dodgy. You're looking. You look worse. I'm sorry. These guys come in flames. They weren't like trying to like blackmail me. You're trying to blackmail me. You're weird.
彼らは
They're cool, especially the guy in the vest, the puffer
普通に見
vest.
えないこともない。話だってちゃんと
They can hold conversations just fine. What is this?
それも結局は上辺
A
だ。根
diagnosis?
本的に人間とは全く違う存在でね。
Did Isekai monster kill your wife? Is that why you're
人の
scared?
皮をかぶった化け物、規格外の怪物たち。
Did one of them scam you out of a
君
pen?
猛量。だからそんなものが群れをなす場所に君みたいな可憐なお嬢さんが
But your grandpa like enjoyed doing it. Like, I began to feel a little angry at the things this man was saying. I know I don't know everything about them, but they were guests of my grandfather's, and I know they were truly people he truly valued. I wish this man wouldn't say anything so bold as to contest that fact. Excuse me, I began to protest, but was interrupted.
もっと部下からの連絡だ。
Yeah,
長話をしてごめん。
go
僕も
away
仕
to
事に戻る
work.
よ。それじゃあね、ことねちゃん。君があそこに関わるんなら、また会えるかもしれないね。
Monopolizing the conversation once again, he then disappears. I didn't get to reply. He didn't seem to think highly of Enchante, considering he was a regular there. Right, it would be best to talk this through with Miser and the others. I decided to cut my rumination there and hurry along the road to Enchante. Before I enter, I pinch my cheek again, just to make sure. With Kaorindo and that confrontation just now too, I decided to accept yesterday as reality. But still, I was nervous about going inside. I walked to the door and grabbed the doorknob. Hello? Not knowing if I needed to, I let the cafe know I'm here by taking a step inside. Huh? I thought for a moment that I stepped into a completely different shop. I looked around in panic, but the door did look like the same one I saw yesterday. What? Oh, they did a welcome party. However, what I saw was not what you'd call a regular shop at all. What was laid out before me appeared to be an entire world. A gentle light poured through the heavens. Beautiful plants I had never seen before embraced the light, stretching their leaves to the sky. The scene before me could only be described as an illusion, not at all a part of reality. The only things I would consider normal were a few dishes on a large table. As I stood confused, the person who walked up to me, unfazed by everything around me, was, "Oh, Miser."
やあ、いらっしゃい。いや、君の立場的には、おかえりが正しいのかな。まあ、どっちでもいいか。また会えて嬉しいよ、ことね。
Oh, it's nice to see you again too. But more importantly, what is all of this?
ああ、これ。俺とイルが気合を入れて用意した特別なお茶会の場。君の歓迎会でも開こうかなってね。決断次第では送別会になるけど、まあ、それはそれで OK かな。
I love how it's like a very Japanese welcome slash It's a work party. Like
一種の
It's like
幻
fried chicken or whatever on the table.
別世界に飛ばされたわけではないのでご安心を。私たちは今も間違いなく暗射
Oops, sorry. We are still in a shot. Ill appears explaining things casually as I stare up at the endless sky. Huh. So that's something you can do too. I tried touching a few leaves of grass and they felt real. I felt myself smile for some reason. My curiosity began to win over my surprise at this surrealistic scene.
どうしました？何か気になることでも？
Huh? Oh no, I'm fine. It's nothing. By the way, where are the other two? I changed the subject to talk about the others.
ああ、あの二人ならあっち。テーブルの方にいるよ。
I head over to the table led by Mizir, and there I find.
おお、来てくれたか。また再会できて何
I love how he has like the green for his happy. The friendly Canis and seemingly irritated Ignis come to greet me. Ignis is looking in every direction but mine, so I'm not sure how much of greeting it is. He looked upset, but I didn't think I could be the issue, especially considering I was so new to the cafe. Ignis, did something happen?
ああ、まあ、ちょっとね。
It was that dude! It was that guy who tried to like tell you guys to fuck off.
あんまりにもうぜえから軽くぶん殴って追い出した。
Wait, you beat them up? A customer? For a business in the service industry to do something like this could be fatal.
なんと説明すべきなのだろう。
大丈夫ですことね。お客はお客でも彼らは殴っても大丈夫なお客です。
Does such a guest even exist?
まあまあ、その辺は一旦
I bet it's that guy. That weird guy who was like,
ど
don't
うぞ。
do that. Okay. It's party! Hesitantly, I sit on the chair Mizir brought. A cup of aromatic tea is set before me.
じゃあ改めて。
So here we are again. Thank you for coming today, Kachane. He grins and I feel myself getting tense. There's like literally a bottle of Coke over there.
つーか来ると思わなかったぜ。あんだけ俺らのこと疑ってたくせに。
I was very suspicious. I apologize about that. I cleared some things up with Mizir after meeting everyone. For now, at least, I've come to believe everything about all of you. I noticed Ignis looking away in a pout. I hadn't gone to speak with anyone individually aside from Mizir. It's understandable that the others might not like that too much. I lower my head toward them. Also, I apologize about yesterday. I left before finishing our
気
conversation.
にしないでいい。むしろ話の途中でその場を去ったのは我々の方だ。
You guys want to check out your
こう
rooms?
してあなたはまた来てくれた。それだけで十分かと思いますよ。
Mizir laughs nervously at Ignis's demeanor before he begins to speak.
とりあえずさ、アンシャンテのことは抜きにしても、君とまた話せるのが嬉しいよ、ことで。大したお構いもできないけど、今日が少しでも君にとっていい日になればいいな。
For a tea party, aside from snacks, there are mostly heavy dishes on the table. Wow, did you all make all of this?
いや、全然。全部近くのコンビニのやつ。
That's a lot of food, but you know, no judgment.
自分たちで料理を作るなんて久しぶりすぎて失敗が怖くてね。万が一だけど、家事
So they can eat human food is, I guess, the question.
そんなわけでして、イグニスとカヌスが買い出しに行ってくれました。コンビニに。
The convenience store. By convenience store, you mean a normal, actual convenience store, right?
他に何があるっつんだよ。
Well, this would be fine, but you went to Canis?
結構な量になりそうだったのだな。
Did it go okay?
重量に関しては全く問題ない。
I love how his helmet lights up with his emotions like a mood ring. No, that's not what I'm worried about.
お前の予想通り注目集めまくりだよ。
Of course. I had a bad feeling, and I started looking at social media, knowing how it's so ingrained into occurrences like these in today's world. Helmet, store, suspicious person were things I typed into search bars. Well, there hasn't been anything posted about anything, thank goodness.
大丈夫大丈夫。そのあたりのフォローも当然してあるよ。時代ごとに適応していかないと。異端者ってのはいろいろめんどくさいからさ。
Powers as a demon king, huh?
まあ細かく言うと、プラスで打天使の力もセットしてあって、もう最強かける最強な感じですとも。
Mizur nods with confidence. I guess their powers really are that great if they've been able to manipulate social media. Now that I think about it, I'd really only spoken with Mizur. I had no idea what sort of people the others were and what kind of things they were capable of. I'll talk with Iru because he seems like a sweetie, and then Canis, and Ignis can be last because he's kind of a loser. You mentioned you were a fallen angel, but how did you end up coming here to Enchante and meeting Grandpa?
そうですね。何と説明すればいいのか。私の場合、彼に助けられたと。
Saved by him? I tried to ask for more details.
ああ、いる。そこの焼き鳥とか貸してごらん。君、肉類は好きじゃないでしょ。ほら、俺のケーキと交換してあげるからさ。
おや、その通りでした。肉よりは甘いものが好みです。ありがとうございます、ミシェル。
それにいる。なぜにコーヒーを取り間違えたのか。無理せずこちらのジュースにして。
Everyone's like babying him.
コーヒーも飲めなくはありませんが、確かにジュースの方が私の感覚には合いますね。
On top of that, his plates and utensils were cleared and food was served to him. Mizuru and Camus worked quickly, watching Iru. Iru simply smiled, accepting their efforts. What is this feeling? This aura his entire body irradiates, it makes you feel like he can't just be left alone. He's almost like a baby bird. You can't help but want to care for him.
いる。お前初対面の女相手にんな姿見せて恥ずかしくねえの。
Stop dissing him! He's nice. Ignis, why are you so mean?
会うのはこれで2度目。
Yeah, it's the second time.
んなことは分かってるっつうの。初対面も同然って意味だバカ野郎。飯ぐらい自分でどうにかしろってんだよ。
No. He's allowed to eat however he wants. Iru, would you like some of my strawberry cake?
お前も餌付けするなっつうの。
Stop being so mean! Oh no, my body just moved on its own. I felt like I learned who he was. Kind of. Whoops. I wanna talk to Canis. Canis. I'm not sure if it was his body or helmet that made his presence so suffocating. Canis, you mentioned that you were a knight, but what exactly does that entail?
ああ、それは。
Canis was halfway through a cookie he was eating and brings it to his helmet. Then it just disappears. Wait, what? What just happened? Was that some kind of magic? Maybe it was more Mr.'s strange powers? I was completely fixated on what had just happened on his hand.
というのが我の正体なのだ。理解してもらえただろうか。
Huh? Oh. Canis' explanation about himself went in one ear and out the other. He sounded so accomplished at the end there, I couldn't bring myself to ask him again. Yes, I just told him it made sense to me. But even still, how does he actually eat while he still has the helmet on? I felt like I learned who he was, kind of. Ignis, what's it to you? You have quite the appetite, don't you? He had huge portions of food in front of him and was clearly eating more than the others. It reminded me of people in high school, like on a soccer or a baseball team, who would pile on food like this in the cafeteria. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I get that he eats a lot. If this is how he reacts to small talk, we probably can't have a real conversation. Or I'm not sure I can talk to any of them.
最初はそんなもんだと思うけどね。人間同士でも初対面って難しいでしょ。
Is that really all that was? Maybe there are just different values at play here than among humans.
どうかな。確かに価値観は各々ズレがあるかもだけど、実は俺たち人外って人間界全体で見るとそんなに縁遠い存在じゃないんだよね。
Huh?
とある人物の言葉を借りるのなら、古くは神話、おとぎ話に描かれた地位猛量、地方伝説に至るまで、全てとは言いませんが、怪異や神秘に関係する事象には私たち人外が関わっているようなので。
天使、悪魔。ま、イルとミシェルが代表的だろうな。
Oh, so does that mean the presence of you all spills from your worlds out into this one?
あくまで可能性の話だが、何しろ物証がないからな。
I see.
ってわけでね、人間と俺たち人外は昔から実は結構近い場所にいるんだよ。
I see. Thinking of it, all the images of ghosts and creatures I've seen over the years, putting aside if they're real or not, people recognize them at least a little considering how often they show up on TV. Mr. might actually be right. Non-humans might be closer to us than we think. But I suppose it's an entirely different thing entirely to actually run into these sorts of things in person.
聞きてえことはそんだけか。
Yep. It's one thing. I want to hear all of your relationships with Grandpa one more time.
前にも説明したじゃねえか。俺らはここの常連客で。
いや、イグニス。おそらく彼女が尋ねたいのはそういった意味ではない。おそらくはソーアン殿と我々の関係性。
How deep it went. Oh my god, are you guys lovers? Yes. Right. I really wanted to take my time and speak with everyone individually, to ask again in greater detail what they thought about Grandpa. Mr. and the others look at each other and nod, and they all begin speaking in turn.
俺たちはそれぞれ立場も生まれも全く違うし、細かく説明するのは難しいんだけどね。でも前にも語った通り、ソーアンとこの場所が俺たち。
そうだな。
Oops.
彼は我々の良き理解者で、かけがえのない友人であった。
ええ、ソーアンがいなければ私たちはきっと今ここにいることもなかったでしょう。
あのジジイのことだからな。あと100年は生きるかと思ってたぜ。
The four of them glanced at the same empty seat, just hoping to catch a glimpse of the shadow of their old friend. I began to understand why they were so fond of my grandfather and his cafe. One of a kind, invaluable. Man, your grandpa's kind of like a hottie. Of course they'd want to protect this place. The place that these people needed, the ones who thought so fondly of you. Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. That's why they thought of him. I felt so proud knowing this person they admired was my own grandfather. I heard the dull thud of the anxiety I held in my heart towards these men falling out of my body and onto the ground. Though the air filled with a solemn pause, the party continued.
ああ、んだ、もう飲み物がねえな。
Ignis tosses the empty bottle once filled with a carbonated beverage, glancing about the room with an upset look about his face. I looked around as well, but it seemed like we were out of all the other drinks too.
あれ、コーヒーも切れちゃった？意外と足りなかったね。
Oh well, let me go get some more.
いや、この場ではあなたは客人。ゆっくりしてくれ。
No, that's exactly why I should go. You've been all treating me so very nicely. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't return the favor somehow.
何か私たちの待遇に不満がありましたか？
そうじゃねえってな。とにかく本人が行くっつってんだ。行かせてやれよ。
それもそっか。それじゃあことね、お願いしてもいいかな。
Yes, it would be my pleasure. I ask everyone what they would like to drink, and I head outside. Just one step, the scene around me suddenly reverted to what was everyday reality. I know I've experienced it before, but that really is amazing. I look back, my gaze fixes itself on the ordinary-looking Café Enchanté. Grandpa's Cafe. To think that this was a place non-humans visited, this cafe holds such an amazing secret. More than that, it's always been such a special beloved place for these guests in particular. I'm sure I'll... Oh, first I have to do some shopping. I was certain I'd have enough time to ponder those feelings inside after I did that. I focused myself on the present moment and tried to remember the directions to a nearby convenience store when... Weird old dude appears. I noticed several cars all painted black, parked in front of Enchante. I don't think parking is allowed here. I had a bad feeling about this, but before I could get past the cars, a person got out of the car closest to me. It was a man whose fitted suit gave off the sense that he had no time to mess around. That suit. Have I seen it somewhere before today?
失礼。淡木琴音さんですね。
Yes, and who are you?
私はこういうものです。
He hands me a business card. Nervously, I take it and read what it says. Government Paranormalism Measures. I've never heard of this company.
パラノーマリズムメジャース超常事象対策機関、通称 GPM。名前の通り、科学で説明できない存在への対処を任された。その主な対象は、魔法、超能力といった神秘の力、そして人間界に悪影響を及ぼす。
No, they're good people. Why are you guys trying to take them down? Supernatural phenomena, non-humans. After the surprise, it took me a moment to realize they were talking to me about it. This was about Musa and the others. These people also knew me by name. A government agency getting involved is a lot for me to take in.
まずこちらを。
Unconcerned with the flushed look on my face, the GPM agent took out an envelope and shoved it towards me. What is
東京事
this?
業用資産の買取に関する申し出証明書。そして資料の一式となります。
Ooh, they're going to offer to buy it.
この土地と家屋の相続権はあなたの両親にあります。なのでまず連絡を取って事情説明を。無論、人外のことは伏せてください。なお、今年度は譲渡所得から特別控除を受けることが可能です。詳しくは。
Wait a
何
moment.
か疑問点。
It's that I don't know what's going on. Why are we talking about purchase offers? What makes you think you can
勘
just
違い
talk?
しているようですが、あなたに拒否権はないんですよ。
The government is so evil. They're like, we're buying this place whether you want to or not. A cold glance pierced through me. The lack of care in his words intimidated me, and I feel a shiver run down my spine.
課長も人が悪い。接触しておきながらろくな説明をしてい
Oh, he's the head of the
では
thing, GPM.
私から説明しましょう。言っておきますが、ごまかしなどが通じるとは思わないでください。あなたと喫茶アンシャンテにいる人外が接触した。その情報はすでに得ています。もちろん、この店を継ぐか否か、その判断をしている最中だということも。我々がこの店に抱く危惧は、滞在する人外だけではなく、店内に存在するゲートにも向いています。
Wait, so like, what's to stop them from just like
世界へ
going
つな
in?
がる扉という
Like, do you think like if you sold that land, like
はるかに危険なもの。
Like, what you're asking is for me to, like, get them to leave the cafe. This... Offer me more money first.
いいえ、そんなに単純な話ではありません。
Completely disregarding my words, the official began to
こ
challenge
の世
me.
界とは異なる法則が支配し、異なる生物が生息する世界との接触。それは、そうたやすいものではない。例えるなら大航海時代に 新たな大陸を発見した時と同様。
He continued to rattle on monotonously as if reading something from a manual. Indeed, the existence of alternate worlds and their non-human inhabitants wasn't inherently bad. However, a mountain of worries could form if we were to come in contact with them. For example, if bacteria native to those worlds came to our own, it could potentially cause diseases uncurable by modern science. It could be on a cusp of an awful pandemic.
どうです？少しの可能性を考えただけでもあまりにも危険でしょう。そして我々が何より気にしているのは異世界に眠るさまざまな資源についてです。
So you want to go in and get their resources, but you're also like, no, don't come in with your diseases. Imagine if there was a world that had gold or silver lying around as common as rocks. Trade with that world could throw the global economy here into chaos. There's war to consider here. Consider too rising tension between countries hoarding resources and those that desire them. After the GPM agent finishes talking about these terrifying cases, he glares at me.
異世界へつながる扉は間違いなく個人の
I thought this was like a cute story where you just like had people from other worlds like be like, I'm so happy you're here to make this cafe with me. So you want me to just tell my parents to hand everything over to you and just walk away?
話が早くて助かります。こ
Mm,
れはあなたを守るためでもありますから。
Can I ask you one question? If everything's handed over to a GPM, what will happen to the cafe?
上層部と話し合うことになりますが、我々の厳重な管理下に置かれます。ゲートの破壊と移動は不可能ですから、この店を取り壊してゲートの周囲に新たに研究施設を
You know it'd be faster if they just bought the land around this cafe and just built stuff around it and just trap people in here. Like, nothing to stop them from doing that,
ご理
right?
解いただけたようで何よりです。それではこちらの書類を。
I wave away the papers he tries to give me, and a stunned look slowly appeared on his face as I quietly told him the following. Given that information, I refuse. I'd like you to leave the premises now.
何？
Nani? Don't do. So you can romance the chief to change his mind. I wonder if that's the secret
ゲートがど
character,
れ
I
だけ危
guess.
険な
Like,
ものか今の話で理解できなかったと。
you gotta change his mind, I don't know, because of your love for these isekai people. His face twists in anger, and the GPM agent begins to raise his hand towards me. The very next
Not-
moment. Whoa, what did that? That doesn't sound like bones being broken, if you know what I mean. Out of nowhere, another arm appeared just in time to grab the agent's hand. Canis!
イグニスの洗礼を受けてなお
何者だ？
何者かと言われると、あなたたちが言うところの危険な人外でしょうか。
あ？こいつさっき来たやつとは別のやつか。つうか、俺たちを知らねえってことは GPM は GPM で新人か？
まあ何でもいいんじゃない？どっちにしろ俺たちにとってはお邪魔虫さんだよね。
Following Canis, the other three stepped forward to protect me. The agent brushed off Canis' hand, timid at the arrival of the group.
随分とさまざまなお題目を並べていたようだな。要はアンシャンテにあるゲートを
It's greedy, greedy people.
なんだ？
まあまあ下っ端くん、君の言ってることほぼ正しいよ。ゲートのでも君さ、自分たちの都合いいようにちょっとお話持ってるよね。
I look at the agent. A fearful expression was now scrawled upon his face. Everyone here has already informed me non-humans have lived in the shadows of society for a very long time now. So that means gates like this have been around for quite a while too, right? Oh no! The scandalo.
ゲートが危険なのは事実ですが、それが昔からここ以外にも世界各地に点在するのも事実。それをここのゲート一つだけで世界の終わりが始まる とでもいい加減に誤解させるのはいかがだ。それにその程度で影響を及ぼすのならとっくに人間界は滅んでいるはずでは。
After being berated by questions, the agent straightens his posture and speaks once more.
誤解を招く言い回しでしたが、我々のスタンスは変わりません。ゲートと人外は個人の手ではなく国家機関、つまりは我々の手で管理されるべきものだと。
Oops.
平和的
What did she say?
こんな小娘相手に高圧的な態度で交渉することを言ってるのは
We'd like a peaceful resolution. What's wrong with handing Cafe to us? Yeah, you were mean to me. I am not giving you that cafe. It's
て
mine.
めえらの中じゃ武装した人間で周辺を封鎖した上
It's
で
my
交渉
cafe.
するのは
Mine.
平和的っつうのだ。
What?
気づかれていたか。
というかまあイグニスが殴っちゃったし、だいたいこうなるのは予想できるんじゃない？
Oh, the guests he fought was before were just the people from GPM. They already said that. They already said, oh, you came back. And he's like, oh no. The agent lets out a childish grunt as Ignis stares him down.
ならば
They look like fucking Mr. Smith from the Matrix.
最初からこっちで来いよ。そしたら話が早えってんだ。
やる気満々なのに統率感がないな。今回は彼の意思ではないっぽいね。
He?
アンシャンテにはもう一人常連客がいるのです。
Mm.
人間の
Could that be? I had completely forgotten to ask about him, but I thought it might be.
そこらの人外風情が多少集まったところで何もできまい。我々の管理下にないゲートなど見過ごすことはできん。よってこの事件は我々が
Whoa,
接収する。
this government is full and corrupt. You should not have guns in Japan. This is very bad. With this signal, the other agents ready their raw, intimidating metal objects. Weapons normally banned within Japan. Yeah. Guns? I don't know much about guns, but I could guess that these weren't just for show. They were real weapons meant to kill people. The power of life and death in their hands. I felt sweat pour over my entire body as they pointed their weapons at me.
ことね。大丈夫ですよ。
It better be okay. How do you mean? Don't you see the guns? They have guns!
平気平気。彼らは対人外部隊だからさ。普通の銃とか銃弾じゃないんだよ。
Okay. Oh, are they like tranquilizers?
通常のものより大口径だったり。
So it's like, oh, you know, they're actually way stronger. If that's true, how can you just tell me that it's going to be fine?
当たりたくなければ避ければ、あるいは受け止めても問題ない。
What? I'm sorry, I have no idea what you mean. No normal person can just do that. I mean, why are they all so carefree at the fact they were completely surrounded by loaded guns?
余裕ぶるのも今のうちだ。人外のお前たちは確かに耐久力に優れているかもしれん。だが、普通の人間に。
あらら、仮にも国家公務員でしょ、君たち。か弱い一般市民に手を出していいわけ。
国家を甘く見るな。いざとなればお前
These
たち程度
governments
ど
are
うとでも
so
できるに決ま
bad.
っている。
If anything, this game just turns you into an
これは
anarchist.
警告だ。分かったらおとなしく抵抗をやめ。
へえ、抵抗ってのはこんな感じか。
I was like, what's happening? And I realized that they were like heating up the guns. All of a sudden, the firearms held by the GPM agents were glowing red. You'd hear the hands begin to sizzle and the guns drop to the floor. Ignis watches, shrugging as a wry smile spreads across his face.
What? 弾が暴発しなくて
And his clothes just ripped off
ピン
as
ポイ
well.
ントで熱加えんの難しいんだぜ。
その姿、まさか中海ベスティアの。
おうよ、ベスティアについて知ってんならあの世界に来ても聞いてるよ。強えやつは生きる、弱えやつは死ぬ。要するにこうして向かってきた以上、殺されても文句は言えねえよな。
So scary. As Enos howls, wild flames begin to envelop his entire body. He looks the same as when I first met him. He cheerfully jumps into a crowd of guns pointed directly at him.
おらおら、せいぜい頑張って抵抗しろよてめえら。俺に当てたら拳一風プレゼントしてやるよ。
Jumping into the swarm of agents, he grabbed, punched, kicked, and trampled over every enemy. Wow, people are just flying all over the place.
ところで拳一風とは何でしょう。
我も知らないが、まあイグニスの言うことだ。
くそ、なんだこいつ。今まで捕獲した人外とはまるでこの化け物どもめ。
It's true. He is a bit of a monster. All of their bullets fell to the ground due to the giant sword Canis pulled out of thin air.
不足だ。
GPM の皆さん、やめておいた方。
なはは、言えてるかも。
Beside Iru, who stood there peacefully like magic with a single finger. Azura stops a bullet coming from another direction, then allows it to fall to the ground. All I could do was just stand there, dumbfounded as the whirlwind of supernatural phenomena swirled around the space right in front of me.
さて、どうするお前たち。我に尻を叩かれたいというなら、もっともそれほどの業の者がこの場にいればの話だった。妖精界レディオの黒騎士、我が名はカヌス・エスパーだ。押して。
As Canis stood there intimidating the line of agents standing before him, an ancient Ignis flung into the air came flying towards Canis, crashing down upon him. With all the weight, Canis' helmet, no, his entire head came off. He has no head! What? The commotion around us vanished. In that moment, everyone there, friend or foe, stood in silence as they stared at the head rolling across the ground.
イグニス、もう少し周囲の状況を確認してたな。
I love how they specially made that, like... A shock in the form of a shout rose up from us as Canis lifts himself up and straightens his collar, which was devoid of anything.
後方不注意だぜ、ガヌス。
一理あるか。ともかくだ。GPM の手勢たちよ。我が剣を恐れぬなら、かかってくるがよい。
Okay. The otherworldly battle continues. I was bewildered by everything going on about me, as Miseris placed his hand on my shoulder.
あれ、そっか。琴音ってカヌスのあれ、見るの初めてだっけ。まあ、そのうち慣れる。
Will I, though? I suddenly noticed that out of the many GPM agents that had arrived here, half of them were lying on the ground. It didn't seem like any of them had sustained any serious injuries. Still, it was a disaster zone.
さーて、下っ端くん、そろそろ諦めたらどう？俺たちに。っていうか、アンシャンテに手を出したら危ないってこと、これで十分分かったでしょ。ちなみに、ここでぼーっとしてる打天使様も、彼らといい勝負だから。
乱暴なのは好みませんが、 あなた方が帰ってくれないのなら実力行使もやむを得ません。
I love how the angel is the secret boss for them. Il tilts his head, signaling his reluctance. I couldn't quite imagine him being just as strong as Ignis or any of the others, though.
打天使だとバカな。そんな人外までいると分かった以上、ますます放っておけるものか。貴様らは通常の人外よりもはるかに危険だ。であればこんな小娘に貴様らの管理など絶対に任せてはおけるものか。
I think you misunderstand. I deny his statement in reflex. Many of the agents were already wounded. My voice could be easily heard now that the scene around me was nearing its end. I took one deep breath. I wanted to be sure they could hear my words. I will not be able to control them. In fact, I have no desire to do so. In that case, please. More importantly, control is the last thing I would ever want here in the first place. The eyes and attention of everyone there, in this brief moment, it was all directed towards me. Misura and the others, with the GPM agents, paid close attention to me as I spoke. I began to vocalize the conclusion I had already come to in my mind. I had to come from my own mouth, otherwise it would have no meaning at all. I spoke with Misura and the others, and I've come to understand them a little better. Although they're considered non-humans, there is more we have in common than not.
でも前にも語った通り、ソーアンとこの場所が俺たちにとって唯一無二の存在。
そうだな。彼は我々の良き理解者で、かけがえのない友人であった。
ええ、ソーアンがいなければ私たちはきっと今ここにいることもなかったでしょう。
あのジジイのことだからな。あと100年は生きるかと思ってたぜ。
Well, he's dead. Don't know what to say. They know what it is to feel things deeply, and they feel the need to protect this place where their friendships have been forged. They really are capable of that. To let this disappear without allowing them an opportunity at all, that's not something I'm interested in.
コートネ。
Oh, so, if there are dangers that must be reviewed, it does not have to be right here and now.
見定めるとはどうするつもりだ。まさかその凶悪な人外たちを相手に本気で喫茶店をやろうとでも言うのか。
Yes, I am. I will be taking over the cafe. Now that I've made my decision, I will be treating these people as my guests, just like the last owner, my grandfather. Is there hearing my declaration beside me?
やっぱり君は変わらないな。
His smile was right from his heart. On the other hand, the GPM agent was starting to tremble in fear.
バカなことを。こんな強大な力を持つ化け物が喫茶店の客だと。
確かにバカかもしれない。でも俺たちは喫茶アンシャンテのそういうバカなところに惹かれたんだ。
それに GPM の主張も理解できます。個人の手に余る力を組織が管理しようとするのは合理的で正しい判断ですが、そもそもの前提として私たちも
Ourselves on that gate.
あなた方の手に余りますので、それ以前の問題かと。
Just become super sexy angel. Just
普
for
通に
you.
乗るなよ小娘。我々の力を行使すれば貴様や親族の社会
Man,
的
this
立場な
government
ど
really doesn't like you or your grandpa.
どうにでもできるって。それって彼女を認めた魔王様への宣戦布告と受け取っていいのかな。
Misura takes one step forward. In one action, I felt an intimidating aura. The air around me suddenly became thin. I could feel the entire world begin to cower before him. The ground, in fact, began to rumble. I could feel the light shaking beneath him. As if pushed away by the aura's pressure, an agent falls back toward the ground.
悪い目は早めに積んじゃうのが鉄則だけど、どうしようかな。
Monsieur delivers an icy glare at the agent. However, the sound of a roaring engine killed the atmosphere hanging above us all. Oh, that car! A sports car appeared, moving towards us in a flash. Its beautiful chassis wedged itself between Monsieur and that agent. The man who exited the vehicle while scratching his head was none other than... Tim! It's Kaoru!
だから僕は止めたのに。
This morning it was the man who stopped me. It was
い
Kaoru
や、ミシ
Rindo.
ェル。悪いね、うちの若いのが。どうもこう焦ったみたいでね。これでも一応説得はしたんだけど。
Monsieur dissolves his intense aura and relaxes his shoulders as Mr. Rindo talks to him calmly.
そんなことだろうと思った。とはいえ、君のことだし、どうせ自信があるならやっちゃえとか、この子たち煽ったでしょ。
So he did this for fun? Are you saying that he was just doing it as a joke?
何のことかな。おお、リンド。てめえ後で殺すからな。死んだら生き返らせてもう一回殺す。
お前も良い年だろう。戯れもほどほどにな。
はいはい、すみませんでした。というか、君たち圧がすごいから挟まないでほしいな。
Mr. Rindo?
おや？いやあ、琴音ちゃん、朝ぶりだね。僕のこと覚えてくれてたんだ。
Yes, you were quite memorable. I had finally remembered the suits that those GPM agents were wearing. I thought I'd seen them somewhere, and I now realized they were very similar to his, which I had just seen earlier this morning. So that must mean he's the last guest at Enchante who's with the GPM, right?
はい、彼のことですね。
一度もう自己紹介は済ませているけど、職業も含めてはまだだったかな。頂上自称対策機関、通称
Chief
GPM
Intelligence
情報課
Officer.
課長、林道薫。怖い人外から君みたいな金のお嬢さんを守るのが僕の仕事。
I see. I was given 2 business cards from government agencies within one day. Luckily, due to Mr. Rindo's arrival calming the tension around us, I couldn't seem to find anything else to say to him in the moment.
琴音、知り合いだったのですか？
Well, in a way. This morning he hit on me. Though I'm sure now that it was just random chatter to try to figure me out.
よーし、じゃあそんなたちの悪い中年は魔王様が塵にしちゃおうかな。
What?
勘弁してよ。君の場合、塵どころか影も残してもらえなさそうだ。
As if to avoid conversation with Mr. Rindo walks to the agents wounded on the ground.
それでここまでされたんだ。年長者の助言は素直に聞くべきだって痛感できたかな。
リンド。
というか君たち、揃いも揃って人外を相手にするなら過去の事例くらいきちんと把握しないとね。
Homework?
こういったことが以前もあったのだ。GPM がアンシャンテを占拠するため。
そう。ここにゲートがあると知ったら目の色を変えてね。今でも大人げない武装だったなって思うくらいにね。
So, what happened?
んな勝手な真似、俺らが許すわけねえだろ。まあ、なんというか、控えめに言ってフルボッコかな。それはもう徹底的にのされてね。以後、僕らはこの店と休戦&生還、その監視役が僕ってわけさ。ミシェルみたいな魔王様一人でも困るっていうのにさ、揃いも揃ってみんなラスボスすぎるよね。
I love how it's like a meaning of what the word last boss means.
魔王。
おいおい、嘘だろ君たち。GPM では基本中の基本だよそれ。喫茶アンシャンテに救うミシェル・アレックス、最強最悪の人外の王、魔王様。
We need to review our training program. That's what Mr. Rindo muttered as he looked back at us.
まあそんなわけでさ、今回のこの子たちの襲撃は決して GPM の総意じゃない。僕の頭でよければいくらでも下げるからさ。僕に免じて矛を収めてくれないかな。
As long as Enchante remains, then I ask for nothing.
これ以上の要求は必要ないと思う。
別に林道は関係ねえが、弱いもんいじめは趣味じゃねえ。ここらで手打ちにするのが筋だろうな。
最強最悪の人外の王様的にはちょいちょいと根絶やしにするっていうのも悪くないかなと思うけど。
He looks to me as if to ask for permission. I vigorously shake my head side to side. I'm alright, as long as they don't do anything to harm the cafe.
だってさ、うちのマスターがそう判断したんだし、君たちは晴れて無罪放免だね。
そう言ってくれて心の底からほっとしたよ。それじゃ君たちは帰った。後で山のような始末書を一緒に書くとしようじゃないか。ちなみに僕としては君にここを諦める方向で説得するつもりだったんだけど、もう決めたんだね。
Yes.
常連客が魔王に首なし騎士、打天使に魔獣、どいつもこいつも存在が大事。
Is he just like, I'm warning you because I don't think you can take it?
大げさに言ったら世界までもが
But it's like you can date me, a 19-year-old girl.
この喫茶アンシャンテを継ぐのかい？
I'd rather do this than scamming poor old ladies through health supplements. I stare once against the Enchante sign. I consider the name of this place, where Grandpa and the others here had forged so many memories together. Yes, I nod, as if to take it all in. I understand that's selfish. The end of the world, maybe I don't understand as well as I should, considering something as giant as that. But when Mr. and the others talked about Grandpa over the years, their warm smiles, all of them so bright and dazzling, they were just so beautiful. I just didn't want to lose that. The regulars focused their attention on my declarations once again.
やはり彼女はソーアンの孫娘です。とてもいい人ですから。
I love how all of them have changed into their outfits, but Canis is still in his puffer jacket.
どう？これで少しは彼女に興味が湧いたんじゃない？イーグニス。
さっきの単価は悪くなかったんじゃねえの。
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I decided on my own without asking any of you.
いいんじゃない？面と向かっては言えなかったけど、みんな君に継いで欲しかったわけだしさ。
It's like who else would take over in this shop?
つうか、そのうぜえ敬語いらねえ。ここに作ってんなら普通に話せよ。
Oh, understood. I mean, sure. Meanwhile, Mr. Rindo stood as if he gave up, shaking his head.
そっか。君が自分で見て自分で決めたんなら、もうこれ以上僕から言うのは野暮だよね。
With a British smile, Mr. Rindo looks at Mizra and the
それに
others.
アンシャンテが
And if
営業する
Enchante
なら
reopens
監
for
視業
business.
務も兼ねて僕もこれからはちょくちょくお邪魔させてもらうよ。人外にいじめられたとか困ったことがあったら何でも相談してね。可愛い新人マスター。
Okay, I'm sure I will, Mr. Rindo. Yeah, you're all like besties now.
人聞きの悪い。我らが彼女を害するわけがなかろう。
全くです。
Absolutely not.
リンド
I own this place. They keep forgetting I'm the owner. Well, my parents are the
ああ、つ
owner,
うかリン
but
ダ
I'm the owner.
何しれっと帰ろうとしてんだ。さっきの詫びとして2、30発殴らせろ。
ごめんこむるよ。それに人間にはこんな言葉があるんだよ。逃げるが勝ちってね。
Smiling, Rindo escapes as Ignis chases him. This cafe has been a nurturing environment of friendship for the regulars, Mr. Rindo included. These interactions cross the boundaries between humans and non-humans alike. I turn back toward Enchante. I'm sure conversations like this happen every day throughout the history of the cafe. It may be up to me to be able to bring back that kind of spirit around here. I still don't know anything, and that goal seems so very far away now. But still, I'm sure. He's like, hi, Kotone.
これからよろしくね。
Yeah. Alright. I think this is actually a perfect time to stop. They're in chapters! Who knew this game is in chapters? Oh my gosh, this makes it so much easier to play. I was actually like, oh my god, how am I going to do this? But, you know, thank you so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed this a bit more than I expected. I was expecting it to be a bit cheesy and stuff, and there is a bit of story. Again, you know, the dialogue gets a bit like visual novel stuff. But I'm very keen to see this to the very end, at least through to one ending. Just so I can just say I finished a visual novel on a stream. I'm gonna take a break. I am thinking about maybe playing a game a bit later and streaming again, but that will be just tentative for now. I'm just like itching to play another game. But yeah, take it easy, have a great weekend, and enjoy yourselves. And I gotta get my washing in before it starts raining. Woohoo! Anyway, take it easy. Bye bye bye.